Jewish Channel's Week in Review. The Pope restores a Holocaust-denying bishop, Orthodox Jewish controversy at President Obama's inauguration, the most famous alleged Jewish criminal other than Bernie Madoff gets a chance to make bail, and Hasidic women's fashion gets a big diss on national television. Welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. A once expelled Catholic bishop was welcomed back to the Catholic Church by Pope Benedict XVI. Bishop Richard Williamson was one of 4 clergymen excommunicated decades ago for their opposition to the reforms of Vatican II. Williamson had previously made his views on the Holocaust known in an interview on Swedish television.
I believe there were no gas chambers, yes.
An indicted Hasidic slaughterhouse owner who made headlines around the globe is finally free to leave jail. Shalom Rubashkin had previously been denied bail when an Iowa judge ruled that Israel's law of return made him a flight risk. A legal appeal this week succeeded, and Agudath Israel's Rabbi David Zwi Bell was one of the defendant's witnesses.
The law of return was enacted by the State of Israel for the purpose of providing a safe haven for Jews in lands of persecution who would now know that they could come to the State of Israel and automatically be entitled to citizenship. The irony is that here the U.S. government was turning around and using that very same law of return as a basis for treating Jews here in the United States as second-class citizens.
A religious ceremony celebrating the inauguration of President Barack Obama has become a source of controversy for the Orthodox Jewish community. Rebecca Honig-Friedman has the story.
Rabbi Haskell Lookstein is a long-standing and esteemed member of the Orthodox rabbinic group, the Rabbinical Council of America, but his invocation at the National Prayer Service during Inauguration Week is making waves.
Keep this nation under your care.
The RCA criticized Rabbi Lookstein for his participation in the interfaith ceremony held in Washington's National Cathedral. A statement from the Orthodox rabbinic group declared it is, quote, long-standing policy that participation in a prayer service held in the sanctuary of a church is prohibited. I'm here at the historic Spanish and Portuguese synagogue, where a new liberal Orthodox rabbinic group is supporting Lookstein. The International Rabbinic Fellowship, led by Rabbi Avi Weiss of Yeshivat Chovevei Torah and Rabbi Mark Angel of the Spanish and Portuguese synagogue, thinks Lookstein is in the right.
Obviously, there are differences of opinions on whether he should have or not, but it's important for all of us to have respect for a man who's been an Orthodox rabbi for over 50 years, one of the leaders of our community, a man of great respect and dignity. He made a decision, and that decision should be supported by all of us.
Rabbi Angel also said he thinks Lookstein would have been wrong not to participate in the prayer service.
The president invited me, or anybody would be invited by the president. They would have to think very carefully before they would say no, because the impact is not just on that individual, it affects the whole community. He wasn't invited just for himself, he was invited to represent a whole segment of the Jewish community. That's a big responsibility. And
Rabbi Lookstein declined to comment on camera, but he did write an email to members of the RCA defending his decision, saying, quote, Orthodox participation in this important national event and the opportunity to say a few words directly to the President of the United States is a chance that our community can ill afford to miss. With at least 4 more years for rabbis to talk with the new president, we'll have plenty of time to see if this controversy will continue.
Thank you, Rebecca. Many Jewish households were surprised Sunday night to find a Hasidic love story playing on television. Loving Leah featured Hollywood stars like Lauren Ambrose and Susie Essman playing a Lubavitch family caught up in a problem of biblical proportions. When Ambrose's character's husband died childless, she became part of a levirate marriage. While the movie was well received, a network television appearance by actress Susie Essman on The View was not. Christian Needon explains.
What did you learn about the Hasidic religion? Anything else?
I learned that they're not very good dressers.
How Hasidic women dress has suddenly become a topic worthy of national attention, and fashion designer Levi Okunov, who grew up in the Hasidic community, knows a thing or two about it.
I would personally know the difference between a Chabad woman and another woman.
Essman plays a Chabad Lubavitch Hasid in Loving Leah, and their style is one that Okunov says is actually quite distinct from that of other Hasidic women.
The other ones actually seem to blend in a lot more, but there's an energy that they give off, and that energy is what I believe is the modesty that's around. I believe you can be naked and completely modest.
But those rules of modesty can mean that even clothing that fully covers the body can be forbidden.
They usually have to pick only what's popular in the community. A pair of shoes, or a particular handbag that the average woman isn't wearing, then it would stick out. And because it would stick out, it would be unmodest.
But sometimes, Okunov explains, Hasidic fashion is about more than clothes.
But most Chabad women have this hip thing about them where they're social, and so suddenly it's really got nothing to do with what you're wearing.
But for those Hasidic women still trying to wear something, Okunov's working on a solution.
One of my projects for the next year is to actually do a line of modesty clothing. I find that it's unfortunate that a woman's got to go through 80 racks of clothing to find one skirt that's a possibility. I think a woman should be able to go through racks of thousands of stylish clothing that are all modest and sexy.
And what does Okunov think of Susie Essman's comments?
If I were playing a woman's role in a film and, every time I would go out in front of camera, my wardrobe would say, no, the sleeves aren't long enough, no, the neck isn't covered enough. I think it's pretty annoying.
But just because Essman was annoyed doesn't mean Okunov won't keep watching her.
I haven't seen the film, and I think she's great, and I love her, and yeah.
That's all for this week. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well.